and welcome to Strategic Sales Queen. Claim Your Career Crown podcast. I'm your slap happy host here, Lynn Whitbeck, the Strategic Sales
It's
Queen.
contagious.
It is. And today I'm absolutely delighted, our wonderful guest, Susie Pruden. And we are going to be talking about why it's not who you know, it's who knows you to unlock big rewards. Because so many talented professionals struggle to get noticed, even when they have strong skills and valuable experience. Building visibility and credibility can feel overwhelming, but today Susie Pruden is going to share how becoming known by the right people can open doors to bigger opportunities, stronger relationships, and greater success. Now, you probably have already heard about Susie. Susie Pruden is an award winning international speaker, New York Times bestselling author, TEDx speaker, hypnotherapist, and empowerment coach. She is the creator of the Inner Mind Certification Program and a successful publisher who has helped countless individuals increase their visibility, influence, and impact throughout their careers. And I am absolutely thrilled to have you here with us today. Welcome, Susie.
Thank you, Lynn. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes. And, you know, I know a lot about you, but there may be some people who still haven't heard of you. So, what inspired you to get started helping people to become more visible and recognized?
Well, it all started when in my first career was in the fitness industry in New York City before the fitness industry existed as an industry. When I started my school in New York, I think there was one or two fitness organizations in the city. That was it. That was in 1965. And I built my career by teaching 2 year olds. And it was interesting because most people at the time didn't think that 2 year olds needed teaching. And that was before Gymboree, before Mommy and Me, before any of that. And I started in my living room with 6 2 year olds, and I grew it to a $1 million business. And what happened is because it was so unusual, I got a lot of press, and people knew who I was. And so wherever I went, it's, oh, don't you have the school on the Upper West Side? Oh, don't you have the summer camp in East Hampton? Oh, aren't you on NBC or aren't you on CBS? I mean, it mushroomed. And so what happens when you are known is people want to connect with you. People want to do business with you. If you're not known, why would somebody want to do business with you? If your product isn't known and that you are the expert behind your product, why should they buy it? People came in from Greenwich, Connecticut to New York City to work to come to bring their kids to my school. They came in from New Jersey, all the boroughs. They came in from Long Island, Westchester County, and even Bergen County in New Jersey and Rockland County, which is up above Bergen County. I mean, they came in a far distance to bring their kids to my school because they heard of me. And then they told their friends, so their friends heard of me. So it kept mushrooming. I mean, I didn't know anybody at William Morrow, for example, in 1971. And they knew me, though. They knew my reputation. And when I was at a cocktail party in East Hampton, Long Island, I met an editor for William Morrow, told her about my book idea, and they bought the book. And I knew they didn't buy it for the idea. I knew they bought it for my name because my name was very well known. And from there, it just mushroomed and it kept mushrooming. That's one reason why I started the publishing company, to get people known. You get
Wow.
known when you have a book.
Wow. I mean, that is such an inspiring story. You had people coming from all over.
Yeah.
And, I think that what is inspiring about that is that it really illustrates the whole point is that it's who learns about you and who knows you and how that gets started. So when you're working with clients, what is that process that you use to help your clients so they can shift into that realm of who knows you?
First, I have to explain to them that selling books one at a time is not going to make them any money, that they need to sell their books in bulk, or get other people selling their books. They need media. They absolutely. And it's interesting, Lynn, you understand the power of media. You are a regular now on one of the local shows in your area. And you know that because of that, it's going to edify you and send you more business. And so, what I explain to my authors is every single town has a newspaper.
Yeah.
They're always looking for interesting stories. Now, a lot of people think their life story is the interesting story. No, it may be interesting, but what the newspapers are looking for and what television is looking for, podcasters are looking for, is how will this help their reader, their viewer, their listener. It's really what's in it for the viewer, listener, reader. It's like
Yeah.
me being on this podcast. It's not about me. It's how will the information that I am imparting help your viewers, your listeners.
Yeah.
And so what I want you all to know is that your work is important, or you wouldn't be doing it. And your mission and your positioning in the world is important, and people have to know what you do. People have to know who you are, not because you had a childhood trauma, because of how you make a difference in the world today with the work that you do.
Yeah. Well, and it is true. And I also, that perspective is that you've got to get into the head of who's going to be receiving this information and why does it matter to them? What's in it for them? And
Yes.
that is, it's, and for some people, they may think that their life story is really fascinating, but other people, they don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, how does this serve me? So
Yes.
you've got, sometimes I really feel there's a real correlation here. You've got to get out of your own way. But when you do, and then when you focus on that and the work that you do, why does this, when you do this, and when you um does this lead to bigger opportunities? I mean, stronger relationships and greater success.
Absolutely. Everything you do builds. For example, okay, so when my book came out in 1972, and it was on children's fitness, I didn't know anybody at CBS, but they knew me because of the promotions that we had with the book. Was about children. I think it was 4 weeks to 4 years.
Yeah.
They knew of my school in Manhattan. They called me. They had a children's show at the time called The Patchwork Family. It was on CBS. They wanted me to come down and bring my kids from my school and do a segment, because I used to tell stories and we used to act them out physically. So I did. It was a Saturday morning, and I didn't know it was a trial, and it was live. I did the show. They asked me back, and I actually had that job every Saturday morning for a year and a half on CBS. Now, because of that, I didn't know anybody at Newsweek, but because of I was known now on television, they knew me. They called me because they wanted to do a pilot with Dr. Frank Field on health and fitness, and I was to be the fitness expert. And so they came, they did the pilot. Now, this is interesting. Nobody, what was it, NBC or, yeah, did I say Newsweek? It gets confusing because Newsweek called me and then NBC called me. So yes, Newsweek wanted to do an article on fitness, and so they quoted me. Someone at NBC saw the quote, contacted me for the pilot, and then we did the pilot. It wasn't picked up, but another producer at NBC was watching the pilot, liked how I presented myself, called me up. Would you come down to the studio? We have a new show on Sunday mornings, The Prime of Your Life. We're looking for a fitness expert. I went down. They liked what I did. I had that job for for 3.5 years. That led to me being on the Today Show as the fitness reporter for the Today Show. That led me to having my own talk show on NBC. And an interesting story, Lynn, you see the picture behind me with Oprah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the book that I'm holding up is the book that was published by Hay House. And that was the book that Louise Hay and I did a complimentary video with, where she's doing the affirmations, I'm doing the exercises. So that was the book. And you said something just now about how it needs to be important for the person whose show you're doing. Well,
Yeah.
at the time, it was during the time that Oprah was battling her weight.
Yeah.
Now, I had nothing to do with her weight loss. But my premise in the book is you've got to make peace with your body wherever you are with it. She liked that because that was her main struggle. They gave me a whole hour on the Oprah show. And yes, it was for her audience, but it was also for her. And because that was her issue. And what I did was, Hay House couldn't get me that show. So I hired my own publicist and I paid him to get me on the show. And what was interesting was that a producer at the show knew who he was and then learned who I was. And Oprah already knew who I was because she already had the book. And that's how I got on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is. I like how you position that. It's you just keep doing the work and it keeps building on itself. And that's a really important piece. And so for professionals, business owners, entrepreneurs, how can they increase their visibility and credibility? What's one thing that they need to be paying attention to or to start looking at or working on immediately?
First thing I would do is get on podcasts. Let people know what you do. Put that up on your website. Put that up on YouTube. Get your information out there. So there are podcasts for every topic, every topic. And find out the one that's going to the podcast that your information will serve their audience. Bottom line is, how do you serve the audience? The next thing you can do is contact your local newspaper, call the editor, the lifestyle page. They're always looking for stories that will help their reader. So you want to get in front of the editors of newspapers. Call your local TV shows. In any major city, there usually is a local morning show. Call them up. Find out who the producer is that gets the talent for that particular show. Create a short, I emphasize, short letter. Do not tell them your life story. They don't want to know it. This is how I serve your audience. Can we have a conversation? And just start getting in front of people. You want to be a person who, when they think of a topic, they think of you.
Yeah.
When I had my hypnosis center, we specialized in weight loss, and I became known as the weight loss guru in Los Angeles. When I had my fitness school in New York City, I was known as the fitness expert. They would call me if they needed a fitness story. I remember ABC, Good Morning ABC, would call me about every 2 to 3 months. Can you bring your kids down to do a fitness show? Can you come down to do a fitness show for women? They would call me. And
Yeah.
I would go down there. But it also happened, this is an aside. I knew one of the producers, he walked his dog. He lived in the block next down the street from me. We would walk our dogs at the same time, and I would see him and I'd go over and say, "Are you ready to have me back?" He said, "Yeah, call the office." But it got to the point, Lynn, where I could call one of the shows that I had done in the past and say, "Are you ready to have me there again?" And
Yeah.
just that reminder said, "Yes, can you come?" And they'd give me a date. So you
Yeah.
need to be constantly looking at, what can I offer them today? And if they say no, that's just for now.
Yeah.
I look at no as not now. I never look at no as never.
Yeah. And or it wasn't not that topic, I mean, timing,
Timing is
all those
everything.
things. And
Yeah.
so and once again, always really one of the things that you talked about, um, as we're going through this to increase their visibility and credibility is that you have to stay at it. It's just
Yes.
it's not a one and done, and, what you try once. and also you've got to keep thinking about why this would matter to their audience. How is this
Yes,
serving them? Because it takes a while, and I agree that starting with podcasting is also a great way to build up that muscle of being able to have these conversations and to be able to be natural at it. And
absolutely.
because it you know, it's just you just keep practicing. Yeah, and it's a great format to be able to do that in, and really looking at shows that really could use your unique perspective and advice, your expertise, where people would not have heard about you before. And it's a way a
Exactly.
whole new group of people can hear about you. So that was
And it's
really
international.
great.
It's
Yeah,
international. So what happens to a lot of people who write books is they put it up on Amazon and then they wait. You can't do that. You have to constantly be marketing, constantly be marketing, constantly be, this is your best friend. This
yeah,
is your best, that's my cat. This is your
yeah,
best friend. And it makes a difference. So the book opens the door, but you have to also knock. You can't just wait. The
yeah,
book gets you speaking engagements. You need to be looking at conferences. What kind of conferences would serve your reader? Where is your reader? So well, I'm everywhere now because I have hundreds of books that I publish. But what is your top? Who does your topic serve? Then you look for the conferences, and you figure out whether you want to travel, whether you want to stay home and just do your local area. But you need to get in front of people. If you're not in front of people, people won't know who you are. When you get in front of them, always offer them something that will benefit them. You want to create a relationship with, and always be marketing your book. In your book, you want to have opportunities for them to contact you. You always want to be able to be there for people. So it's really important to know that most people who write books have a mission. But if you don't tell anybody about it, they're not going to know.
yeah.
And media, this is important. And you're never going to be not frightened calling it. It's
I don't
like,
know. I'm not frightened, but that's okay.
yeah, well, you're a unique individual. I'm doing a media tour for one of my authors, and she wants a real media tour like I used to do. And so this is a stretch for me because I've never done it. So what I'm doing is it's so fun. I'm working with ChatGPT and said, okay, let's go. We're going to do a media tour. And I'm getting all the information I need. I'm writing my emails. I'm making my calls. Am I nervous? Yes. Am I doing it? Yes.
Yeah.
And the operative word is yes. Put your big girl panties on, big boy panties on, and pick up the phone.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's one of the most important things, and I think that comes to why is this a challenge for so many talented people, because you're right, they write a book and it just sits there. It goes
Sits
yeah, and then they're not actually leveraging it. So, um, why do you think that so many experts, so many people who have great knowledge and talent, it just
Why do
languish?
they not do it?
Yeah.
Fear. It's just a
Okay.
fear. Why, people ask, well, I'm not that important. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Your work is important. You wouldn't have done it
Yeah.
otherwise. Anthony Camacho, one of my authors who wrote a book on sales, he's a sales coach. He grew his company from making $100,000 a year, which is nice, to $750,000 a year using his book as his marketing tool.
Yeah.
He did everything. He got on podcasts, he got on television, he got newspaper articles, he got on radio. I mean, he did and he's still doing it today. And because it's not one and done, it's as long as you're in business and you're talking, you can be in the media, and you
Yeah.
need to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think your book is going to do it for you. No, it's going to do it with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really important point, and I really appreciate that. So, what are some simple steps that our listeners can take today to become more well known in their industry? And I know you gave us the advice of picking up the phone, the newspapers. Um, but where would you have them start?
This is going to be funny. You need
Okay.
Okay, so talk to your if you're using Claude or ChatGPT or any of the AI bots. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Ask them to give you a list of opportunities, whether it's conferences, whether it's podcasts, whether it's television, radio, whatever, in your area. So get that list because most people go, huh? So ChatGPT or Claude, it's there. It's public knowledge.
Yeah.
Then what you want to know is figure out who the person is at the radio station that you want to speak to, or who the person is. So you've got to start with research. Start finding out who to call. You can also ask chat, or I mean, because the reason I'm telling you all this is what I'm doing right now. Say, write me a letter. Write me the best query letter you can that will get me booked on the show. And remember, it's got to be that you've got to have a hook.
Yeah.
So my hook in what I do right now is it's not who you know, it's who knows you. People go, really? Tell me about that. And so that's why I'm here. So think about the work that you do in the world. And if you have a book, think about what that book tells your audience. Create the hook so that the producer or the editor, the person or the podcaster goes, my audience would benefit from that. So you want to create a hook. You
Yeah.
want to create what's interesting about this person that's going to interest my audience. Because what you want, I'm getting excited. What you want is people to not only tune in, you want them to stay.
Yeah.
And you don't want them turning off the television, turning off the radio,
Oh, yeah.
logging
Oh,
out. You want them to stay there. So you've got to be interesting. And if you're not that interesting, and there are people who are and aren't, get lessons to make you interesting, because there are people who can teach you how to speak. There are people who can teach you how to present yourself
yeah.
to the media. So
Yeah.
hire them. Do the work you have to do to get out there, and realize that once you start, it's a snowball.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you've got to have a plan and then you've got to execute on that strategy.
Yeah,
So,
but it's interesting, Lynn, because I'm only using ChatGPT for all this recently, mostly because I got this assignment to create a media tour. And the first thing I remember this from when I was doing this 50 years ago. That's 50 years ago. That's a long time. So I know that the best cities for me at the time were New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and then Atlanta, Dallas. So I asked ChatGPT what are the 5 best cities, and they said New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and Nashville.
hmm,
And it was like, Nashville? I didn't know that. And so Nashville is becoming an up and coming media town. I didn't know that. So now I'm gearing all of my queries to those 5 markets. And then I'm going to, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Now, if you're too terrified to do that, then hire a publicist.
yeah,
That's
that's
what I
true.
did when I wanted to get on the Oprah show. I hired a publicist. I didn't know how to call Oprah. You know what was so wonderful about the Oprah show? After I did it, I'm in my living room and the phone rings. I pick it up. Hello? Hi, this is Oprah. Hi. And then I started working with Oprah for a while. She said, can you help me? And it wasn't about the weight loss, it was other stuff. I literally could not speak. Hi, this is Oprah calling me. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so cool.
You never know what one show is going to lead to.
Right, right. And how to leverage each and every opportunity. So, Susie, is there anything you wish that I'd asked you that I have not?
How do you contact me?
Well, I'm getting to that. Okay, so Susie, thank you so much for sharing why it's not who you know, it's who knows you to unlock big rewards. And will you please share with our listeners how they can connect with you and find out more about you?
You can go to my website, which is Itty Bitty Publishing. That's ITTYBITTY publishing.com. And just give us your information. We call you, by the way. If you give us your information and request information, we will call you, we will email you, and we will get in touch with you, because I really truly believe that if you're going to contact me, if you're going to take the time to contact me, I'm going to honor that and respond. You are important to me. Your work is important to the world, and let's get your work out there. And if you want to write a book, whether it's a small book or a big book, a novel, a how to, let me know. Let me see how I can support you.
Yeah. Susie, thank you so much. And thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in today. This has been such a fun conversation with so many power nuggets, I would say, inside this. I know that this is going to be such a great episode for you to go back to and listen to over and over again.
I
And
hope
for
it's
those that,
beneficial.
what? Yeah.
I want it
And
to be
for,
beneficial to your audience.
absolutely. And if you love the show and you love the episode, please subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. We always greatly appreciate it. And thank you again, Susie. I'm so glad we did this today.
I am too. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.